Hey guys, Mike Mackerlin with another episode of Workout 101 on workouttrainer.com, coming to you from the gym, the personal home fitness studio of Dr. Jim Stepani and myself. So today we're going to be talking about abductor side steps. I've referenced them in the past as adductor. It really depends on the movement. Ideally, because of the motion, you're abducting away. A lot of people say, well, they're abductor, well, they're adductor. Well, to most people out there, they don't even know what those terms mean. Anytime that you're doing stuff with movement of the arms, this is called abduction or abduction. This is called adduction. Same thing with the legs, abduction or abduction. Coming here is ADD. So today we're going to do abductor side steps. So, and what they really emphasize, it's a leg movement, okay? It's a leg movement that does target the glutes, okay? You see a lot of people, women generally, doing to where they have the cable here and they're doing this, okay? With the cable targeting the glutes. The glutes actually fire in that fashion. As you come out and you abduct, the glutes are activated and aid, especially if you kick back here. You kick back this way, the glutes will have an emphasis placed on them. One of the great things I like to do, just because, especially if you squat, if you deadlift, it's a lot of hip movement. You want to strengthen a lot of the stabilizing muscles as well as some of the other things, such as the glutes, in those areas. And you can do it through resistance training in a lateral plane here. Okay, this is great for athletes as well. Most athletes, they're always moving laterally. So if you can train them in this fashion, that's actually really good. So it's a good thing to do in between squats, deadlifts, things like that. It helps warm up the hips as well. I myself am getting older, so my hips are really tight. This is a great movement that I actually use before I squat, before I deadlift. So what you want to do is grab a band. Doesn't matter what type of band. Preferably, get yourself a set of the gym strength bands by Jim Stepani, available on Amazon.com. JYM strength bands. They're by Body Elastics because they simply are the best. There's actually a resistance governor in here, a bungee cord with like a tensile strength of about 600 or 700 pounds. So even if you fray the elastic here, the bands won't snap. But ideally what you want is just grab yourself a band, step on it to where the inside of the foot, the actual arch of the foot, is where you want to place the bands. All right? Now, one thing about this is the closer you are here, remember, the bands have resistance that is based on how much elasticity that you actually have available. If I have a very short elastic measurement in here between my feet, the resistance is going to be heavier. The bands, obviously blue, red, those bands do vary in elasticity strength. But even no matter what you're using, just understand that you're not going to be able to step as far if you have a little bit of distance in here as opposed to getting a little bit wider, okay? You'll be able to step a little bit better. So you want to get a little bit wider of a stance. Cross the bands. I don't even use the handles. I just grab the bands. Cross them, okay? They have to be crossed. And the reason why is because the direction that you're moving, it's good to have the resistance in a complete opposite direction that you're moving. That's that line of pull, line of resistance principle we've talked about before. So what you want to do is you want to stand here and just do this back and forth. No. Get into a little bit of an athletic stance. I usually kind of bring the bands up here by my hips. I get a slight bend in my knee, not totally down here, because then you're going to take the glutes out of the movement. But you want to get a slight bend in the knee to where your knees are not locked out. And then all you're doing is you're stepping laterally, making sure that your heel and your toe are not turning, okay? You want to pick the foot up, step, toe first, then heel. Pick this foot up, come over here, don't touch it, and go right back to the ground. So it looks like this, touch. You're not even moving this foot back down. You're just picking the foot up and moving. The reason why is because what happens is there's two things that happen when you're doing this if you've never done this before. Sometimes when people step, they'll do this. They'll step and the band will come up. They'll turn their foot and then they're already messed up from the start. The other thing that happens is people will do this and they're not familiar with how the bands react, so they drag the foot over here. That's not what you want. You want that resistance, you want to resist on the outside part here of your leg this movement here. So remember, that's resisting, okay, as you come across. Also your groin muscle, but also it's resisting this movement. From back here, then you're using the outside part of your glutes to step back over here. But you don't want to drag the foot because you'll limit the resistance as well as you'll fray the band. You don't want to drag the band on the ground, okay? Your bands won't last very long. So you get a little bit of bend, step here, toe to heel, bring it up, back over. Your body's not moving, your legs are the ones that are moving. Try and keep your body right here. Your head just kind of goes back and forth. Your body just goes back and forth. The reason why is because what happens is if you don't do that, you move your whole body, you're just leaning to the side and you letting your momentum take the load versus an action in the hip. This is an action in the hip. Step. My body hasn't even moved. Step. That's what you want. That is an action in the hip, which allows that muscle to move. If I just do this, if I move and lean, I'm not putting any pressure onto the muscles or the hips that I want. I have to stay here, boom, step, then come over. Step, then come over. Boom, you're right here. Now there's action in the hip, back and forth here. Let me tell you, just this, burning my ass. That's what you want to do with the abductor side steps. Try them, get yourself a set of bands. If you don't, try them with any bands. Any bands will work for this movement. But I would say, you always got to have your bands on you. There's a lot of other things you do with them. So get yourself a set of the gym strength bands available at Amazon.com. If you guys have any questions about this exercise or anything else, please ask me on the Workout Trainer Facebook page, or you can ask me right here on workouttrainer.com by clicking above on the community section, find the drop down that says trainers, find myself, Mike McElroy, ask me a question. If you guys want more custom things that are specific to this guy, Dr. Jim Stoppani, make sure you check out jimstoppani.com, where there are hundreds of workout programs that have helped millions of people achieve their goals. And that guy is the smartest man in fitness, which is the reason why he is my business partner. So until next time, guys, it's Mike McElroy with another episode of Workout 101 right here on workouttrainer.com. Take care.